Now that brings us to home stretch, the last presentation, not the least. It's my great pleasure to introduce Didier Zotna to the stage. Here he is. He will take us through DORA across borders, strengthening ICT oversight in EU and Swiss financial services institutions. As I already mentioned, we're starting to be hit hard by our customers who come back and want to understand how we can help them be DORA compliant. Now, often these things end up in a discussion where we've been sent a DORA template to sign, blanket. Actually, I've got a lot of DORA templates from customers that run the software on premises, and I kind of started to struggle what I am now to sign here in terms of the DORA requirements. Didier is formerly Information Technology Risk Manager at ING Luxembourg. So while you are now with Swiss Post Cybersecurity, you actually have been on the other side, on the banking side, having to live up to be compliant with DORA. So now you provide the consultancy services that you have gained firsthand. Take us through what we have to understand about DORA and how to handle it pragmatically. Take it away. Thank you.
This mic?
You can take any mic you like.
Oh, okay.
That's this one, you have to stay here. If you want to walk around, just take one. They see the color.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Really pleased to be here. Thank you for your courage, because it's the end of the day. Donc, Didier Zotna, I work for SPCS, as our presenter precised. I'm here to discuss with you about a hot topic, DORA across borders. I spent three years in a bank, in a European bank, and I will give you my feedback, different milestones to respect in terms of compliance with DORA, and the different synergy we could find with the local Swiss regulations and different directives. That's it? It is that one? Yeah, sure. Perfect. So during this presentation, we will see four different main chapters. A quick introduction related to DORA. After the impact of DORA and third-party oversight, and after what is a real ready provider compliant with DORA. Chapter 4, we are going to check how communication tool could match with DORA and could help Swiss banks, of course, as on blue. And finally, we dig into another topic, really important topic on the TLPT. So penetration test, and our view, the view of SPCS related to that topic. Yeah, at the introduction, so I want to focus only on three main parts. If you have to keep three parts for this presentation, is DORA first overview. We are going to establish the essential rules, to enhance digital operational resilience, and of course, in the financial sector, European and after Swiss banks, Swiss financial institutions. After that, we will check the different terms and common criteria between the compliance from regardless locations and regulations, especially, of course, with Swiss entities. And it's really important for me to insist on this topic, because the two first topics are really theoretical, but now we have to be in an operational aspect of DORA, but not only on DORA. We will see that there is some common criteria with FINMA, with EBA requirement, and so on. So DORA, I don't know if everybody here knows DORA, but the effectively Operational Resilience Act is based on 5 main pillars. Start in January 2025, put in force in 2023. And there is a preparatory data exercise occurring in 2024. It was really important to have this in mind, because it will explain the different figures I will use after. There is a first exercise, application, and now the improvement by especially focusing on the critical ICT providers between 2025 and 2026 to identify them, challenge them, and be sure they are designed to face the enhanced supervision. And after, we will check the priority requirements, especially on testing. Testing is really important. Standard incident, and of course, it's linked to NIS2 for France, European, and continuous ICT monitoring. And I will insist on this topic. 5 pillars to describe the objectives of DORA, sorry. So the 5 pillars are first, IT risk assessment, IT risk management, incident reporting, operational resilience testing, third-party risk management, really important part. I will insist on that and give some additional information in the next slides. And information sharing to be sure there is a real community that could enhance threat intelligence and resilience. Why DORA is crucial? First, for bank in EU. After, we will focus on the Swiss banks, because it put the focus on digital operation resilience. So it will help banks to withstand ICT-related disruptions and manage cyber threats. Harmonize EU regulations. It's a huge work, honestly. So try to harmonize digital resilience across the EU financial entities. Third-party risk management, really important, especially for supply chain and so on. I could give the example, I don't know if you have checked in the news a few days ago, the big attack on CrowdStrike. We could discuss that after the presentation. Business continuity and incident response to improve the response and to be ready to answer to the different attacks you have to manage. Few figures, only just to have in head that in 2024, that's why I explained before that we had an exercise. Here you have different percentage of maturity related to main topics of DORA. Resilience testing for Spain, they are only at 60%. Luxembourg, 80% for the third-party monitoring, but because Luxembourg is a big place for a financial institution. And globally for Europe, it's 70% related to business continuity. We are supposed to be at 100% for business continuity. So an important thing, important figures is the last one, because you could assess that Switzerland is ready at 65. You do not have to respect, because it's not mandatory to respect the directly DORA. In fact, we will dig into this topic after. But based on the same topics that you have to tackle related to FINMA, ICT, and so on, you're at 65% ready. So you have a real level of maturity, and you don't have to build all your compliance with DORA from scratch. It's really important in terms of finance, resource, and objectives. How DORA comply? It's a huge table, but I will summarize it. It's just to give information, of course, that outlines the different topics. Here you have, on the left hand side, the mapping and equivalent domain between, as example, FINMA and DORA. And on the left-hand side, on the right-hand side, sorry, you have the requirements that you have to answer, and you find quite exactly the same in both sides. That is really important. You have already, for some of you, you have already answered to all these topics. That is just an adaptation. So DORA is like a reshaping of what you already manage in your regulations activities. It's exactly the same. I just for this occasion, for this event, I've done exactly the same exercise based on EBA and European Banking Authority to show you that they have exactly the same requirement with quite the same way to tackle the different issues and problems. First, ICT risk, incident reporting, third-party CCTP, so critical third-party management, and business continuity and incident response. Here, it's really a proof of the different common criteria you could find between the different regulation and framework. Here is the same example than before. You could, of course, you could have it in the presentation. It's not the goal of the presentation to detail all of them. And now I want to insist on the ready provider essential you have to focus on if you need to communicate, to work, or to onboard some other companies that are already DORA. To be sure, they are DORA compliant. You have some highlights, so I decided to take a base risk approach for each pillar. So typical risk for ICT security, cyber attack, ransomware and breach. Same thing for incident reporting. For operational resilience and third-party management information sharing. But the important thing is now the mitigation point, and after the tips you could have to be sure your partner or your customer, or we will detail this after, the different partners or stakeholders you have in terms of DORA compliance. So here you have the main measures to tackle the different risks linked to DORA. Again, implement ICT risk, requires structured business continuity. With a quick overview, you could check that if you are already respecting FINMA, on some of local regulation, you are in. It's not, normally it's not new for you. So the recommended actions for financial institutions, first, it's really important to map EU-facing contract and services, update outsourcing contracts, it's really important, align ICT suppliers' due diligence. To give you an example, in the bank, we were 20 people dedicated to DORA program, and we spent more or less only 6 months, between 6 months and 1 year for this ICT supplier due diligence. It's a huge work. If you have already done it for another regulation, it's perfect. Build a register of this ICT third party, develop exit strategy, of course, linked to the contracts, and ensure incident reporting, really important, because now the incidents are really hard to tackle and really quick to develop, reporting with both FINMA and EU regulators. Same for your ICT suppliers, because all have to do their homework. First, for them, be ready to show resilience posture through, it depends, 2701, SOC 2, ISA, or penetration test result. Provide, it's really important, prevent standardized reporting package to ensure the business continuity and incident response. Adjust contract to your support of it, incident reporting and so on. And finally, monitor EU development, especially if designed as a CCTP. I insist again on the news. I invite you to check the attack of CrowdStrike. We are exactly in this kind of situation. They used open source and during their development cycle, and I don't know why right now because I have to dig into the topic, but they had a lot of issues to tackle right now, and it's the second time in 1 year and a half for them. So takeaways related to this chapter: assess first your external provider to manage ICT and compliance risk. I think you already do it. Test often if you could. I know it's money, it's time, the resources, but test often and fix vulnerability proactively. Prepare to detect, respond, and recover. It's very important for cyber incident, especially for the time to tackle them, and maintain traceability to ensure you could prove what you manage and to exchange with the community. So, compliant, how to deal with a compliant supplier. especially for communication tools, because we are working with our partner Omblue. So DORA ready provider, what is DORA ready provider? What it should demonstrate? First, he is supposed to manage his resilience, of course. So must ensure infrastructure systems, but not also all the service are managed and they can withstand disruption. Of course, it includes redundancy, failover, and so on. It to be technically focused. Response planning to ensure the incident management, how to detect, contain, recover, and communicate, because you have to be aligned with your regulation. You have to give information under 24 hours, 72 hours, and so on. Cyber testing, it's really important. We are going to deal with this topic at the end of the presentation, to simulate a real-world attack. That's why we are going to discuss about TLPT just after that. And auditability, of course, your provider, but all the actors must maintain transparent log, have documented evidence, and so on, as already described before. Here is just, I take exactly the same example with the same topics and put in place the answers that Omblue can deliver for each topic. So they have answers through their product, through their service, through their certifications to tackle ICT cyber risk, business continuity, cyber incident, data governance, threat intelligence. They cover and they could help you not only to mitigate their risk, but your risk. It's really a partnership. And to finish this chapter, I'll propose you to check the business value area, and after the famous takeaways, resource efficiencies. Sorry. So ICT provider help banks avoid duplicating effort, as I said at the beginning, because you already have to respect and to comply with some regulations on the same topics. Risk reduction, of course, related to economy of scales, and reducing per unit the cost of every incident or every compliance fines. Be in line with the regulation, and time saving, of course. Outsourcing the resilience could help you to respect some timeline. I just give you an example by 40 or 60%. Especially, it's interesting, especially for small and medium bank institution, financial institution. Sorry, it is the end of the day. Some takeaways related to that topic. So here you could, the advantage of DORA compliance and trusted ICT providers for Swiss banks. It reduced internal workload. You could access to a specialized expertise, optimize and test your real cyber resilience with a partner, not only a supplier. It's really important. So you could deal with the conditions and so on by contract. Standardize contractual processes and faster incident response, and lower incident impact and cost, of course. And I will finish my presentation by TLTP as mandatory requirement. So, okay, it's okay. So thread-led penetration test, it's another way of testing your security. So it's based on real specific threat actors. You are in a real scenario. You could incorporate these different tests in your production system to be sure that the test is reflecting the reality and perform also business continuity risks. And really important, TLTP is not an option in DORA. It's mandatory. As you see, you have to perform every year some pen tests to be sure that your environment is secure, and you have to perform regularly some tests related to TLTP. So, just an overview of the test you already know. There is actually you have different kind of tests. Vulnerability scan, just automated tools, minimum insight into context. After if you put the cursor over, you have the penetration test. We could simulate on specific system, focus on technical validation, of course, and predefine scope rules and find exploitable misconfiguration. But after that, you have the red teaming and finally the TLTP. You have real intelligence behind that to do your test, to challenge your teams, perform some scenario targeting critical business functions, and you could involve external oversights, especially your partner, and your ICT provider. To finish on 2 slides before the conclusion, here the business value and ROI. So of course, it helps you to have a strategic insurance to validate the full cyber kill chain by test detection, response, and resilience. Risk reduction, identify the risk exposure path and support smarter budget allocation, especially. Yeah. Regulatory alignment, as I say, meet compliance, but not only with DORA, but also you could do some common effort to comply with FINMA and other regulations. It could be same project, but different terminology. Same approach, in fact, it's the same approach. And reputation protection, of course, to build real regulation, to build trust, with regulators and customers and partners. And the final takeaways related to ELTP is, of course, being regulatory. TLTP is becoming a regulatory must-have in case of DORA applications. You test your real cyber resilience. It's just a defense. You're proactive related to your security. You could provide a board level insight into strategic risk, and of course prepare today with phased structural approach of your security. It's an overview of what DORA is, what common points you could have with the regulation and frameworks already in applications in Swiss banks, and to, of course, to exchange with your customer, with your branch subsidiaries who have to respect DORA, and and to improve your communication and security strategy with them. So thank you very much for your attention. I try to stay in the time allocated. I don't know if you have some questions, but I will be pleased to answer you right now, or if you are shy, just after the booth, of course. Thanks very much.